Hello everyone, this is Dr. Pavan Soni here. Today I am talking to you about a very important topic, which is how do you think clearly. And I strongly believe that the quality of your life squarely depends upon the quality of your thinking. So if you can think more clearly, you can live more elegantly. And the rule that I have for you is called ITC. ITC. So let us start with I. I stands for ignore. What you need to develop is a healthy sense of or a tendency of ignoring things around you. Many things in life are random. In fact, most of life is random. And if you start associating a pattern with things which are absolutely random, or if you start getting fooled by randomness, you develop unnecessary stress for yourself. Somebody is not behaving with you nicely, somebody is not looking at you while talking, somebody is a bit rude to you. All of that could be pretty much a random behavior. Now if you start putting it onto yourself, then what happens is that you start getting stressed out. So situations where both the frequency and the intensity is low are healthy candidates for you to just ignore. People brushing their car against you on the traffic, people yelling at you sometimes, complete strangers behaving very abrasively with you are all good candidates for ignoring, because none of these battles are worth fighting. So I would say that good 50% of whatever you do in your life you can simply ignore. Now when it comes to people, I would not say ignore people, but what I would definitely suggest is that ignore specific behaviors of people. So even if there are people very close to you and they sometimes behave very odd, don't ignore them, just ignore that specific behavior of them. That way your judgment about them will not get clouded. So 50% things straight away goes into the ignoring category, and that's where I strongly believe that ignorance is bliss. So low frequency, low amplitude behaviors or situations are good for ignoring. Then comes T. T stands for tolerate. Now of course there are situations where either the frequency or the amplitude or both of them are high. And you certainly can't ignore such situations, and that's where you need to develop a healthy sense of tolerating people, tolerating their behavior, tolerating situation. Think about that. If you really want to come up with a great idea or a creative one, you should be cognizant of the fact that it will shake some status quo, it will rock a few boats. And if you don't want to upset anybody, then certainly you will end up diluting your idea or shooting it right at the inception. So if you are really keen on taking an idea forward, you need to learn to ignore the naysayers. You need to learn to tolerate the people who are posing the resistance to you, because only through resistance does evolution really happen. So you need to be very clear about whom to ignore, and if you can't ignore such situations, you need to be able to then tolerate. So that's your T. So 50% goes into ignoring stuff, another 30-40% would go into tolerating. Now comes C. C stands for confront. If you think that a situation is really taking your toll, and you must then learn the skill of confronting. But what you need to understand is that you should confront only under the condition where you are very confident that you will be able to change the outcome. Now think about that for a moment. How many people have you really managed to change in your life? My answer is one, which is my own self. I have not managed to change anybody. I'll never claim that I have changed anybody. People don't change people. People change because of situations around them or through self-realization, which means that any attempt of you to confront and try to change people is going to be very, very difficult. You should confront situations and change situations. And that's where I'm reserving the 20 or 10% towards confrontation and towards real correction. So you should confront rarely, where both the frequency and intensity is high. And you should really confront when you are confident that you would be able to put the effort in the right direction and you should be able to achieve a promising outcome. Now I'm not at all saying that everything should go through I, T and then C. Ignore, tolerate and confront. There are certain situations where you should confront straight away. So if somebody is teasing you, you are a girl or a lady and somebody is teasing you in the office, certainly you should not ignore or tolerate. You should straight away confront. So you should be clear in your mind that what are the situations that does not require your response. That's a good candidate for ignoring. What are the situations that you should not respond and you should endure? That is tolerate. And where are the situations where the margin of ignoring or tolerating or letting go is zero tolerance policy, and that's where you should confront. So be selective in your confrontation. So ITC is a very simple rule which I have been practicing My only request is that try to practice this with situations and not with people, because I don't want you to come up with come out as a person who is low on empathy. So when it comes to people, try to ignore their specific behavior at that specific point in time, but don't ignore them entirely. I hope this bit is useful to you. I would love to hear from all of you. Thank you so much.